Welcome to Black Rock Inspired. In this video, we will explore some of the most compelling arguments for and against the existence of God, the problem of evil, and the concept of God as a human invention. We will also consider the impact that belief in God has had on human history and culture, from ancient civilizations to modern-day societies. We will examine how the belief in God has shaped morality, politics, and social norms, and the role that religion plays in the lives of millions of people around the world. So whether you are a devout believer, a skeptic, or simply curious, we invite you to join us on this journey of exploration and discovery. By examining different perspectives and engaging in respectful dialogue, we hope to shed light on one of the most enduring questions of human existence. Does God exist? Let's find out. The question of whether God exists has been a topic of philosophical inquiry for centuries. The answer to this question depends largely on one's perspective and the assumptions one brings to the discussion. Some argue that God exists, while others believe that God does not. From a philosophical perspective, one of the most compelling arguments for the existence of God is the cosmological argument. This argument posits that everything in the universe has a cause, and therefore there must be a first cause, which is God. According to this argument, the complexity and order of the universe require an explanation, and the best explanation is that a higher power, or God, created it. Another argument for the existence of God is the teleological argument, which states that the order and design of the universe suggests that there is an intelligent designer behind it. This argument suggests that the universe is too complex to have been created by chance, and therefore must have been created by an intelligent being. Thomas Aquinas, a renowned medieval Christian philosopher, was a strong proponent of the existence of God. His influential work, The 5 Ways, presents 5 distinct arguments that support God's existence. These arguments have sparked extensive philosophical discourse and continue to be studied even today. One of the 5 ways, the argument for motion, is based on the observation that everything in the universe is in motion or undergoing change. Aquinas reasoned that for anything to be set in motion, there must be a cause that initiated the movement. This cause, in turn, must have had its own cause to set it in motion. This chain of causality extends backward, and according to Aquinas, it cannot be infinite. To resolve this apparent paradox, Aquinas proposed that there must be a first mover, which he identified as God. This first mover is not itself moved or changed by anything else, and it sets all other things in motion. In other words, God is the ultimate uncaused cause that sets the entire chain of events in the universe into motion. Apart from the argument for motion, Aquinas also developed other compelling arguments for God's existence. These include the argument from efficient causality, the argument from contingency, the argument from degrees of perfection, and the argument from the orderliness of the universe. Each argument offers a unique perspective on the concept of God and seeks to establish a rational basis for belief in a supreme being. On the other hand, we have David Hume, an influential 18th century Scottish philosopher, who was well known for his skepticism regarding the existence of God. He challenged traditional arguments for God's existence, raising thought-provoking questions that continued to be debated by philosophers and theologians alike. Hume critically examined the design argument, which posits that the complexity and orderliness of the universe point to the existence of an intelligent creator. He argued that drawing a parallel between the universe and human-made artifacts, like a watch or a building, is not a valid comparison. The universe is vastly more complex and unique than any object designed by humans, making it difficult to infer the presence of a divine creator based solely on its complexity. Hume suggested that the universe's order could be a result of natural processes rather than divine intervention. Furthermore, Hume contended that our limited human experience and understanding make it impossible for us to definitively prove or disprove the existence of God. Since we cannot directly observe God, our knowledge about the divine is inherently speculative and uncertain. He argued that human reasoning is fallible and often influenced by personal biases, cultural conditioning, and incomplete information. Consequently, any argument we construct for or against God's existence is likely to be flawed or inconclusive. Hume's skepticism about the existence of God highlights the importance of examining our beliefs and questioning the evidence on which they are based. Some philosophers have argued that the concept of God is simply a human invention, created to explain the mysteries of the world and provide a sense of meaning and purpose. Others focus on the problem of evil, which questions how a loving and all-powerful God could allow evil to exist in the world. Epicurus, the ancient Greek philosopher, delved into the complex relationship between the existence of an all-powerful, all-good God and the presence of evil in the world through his Epicurean Paradox. This thought-provoking argument raised questions that continue to resonate with theologians and philosophers today as they grapple with the nature of divinity and the problem of evil. Epicurus posited that the existence of evil is fundamentally incompatible with a deity who is both all-powerful and all-good. If God truly possesses the power to eliminate suffering and wickedness, why does evil persist? According to the Epicurean Paradox, if God is all-powerful but chooses not to eradicate evil, this calls into question his benevolence. Conversely, if God desires to rid the world of evil but lacks the power to do so, it challenges the notion of his omnipotence. This argument invites us to reflect on the complexities of human suffering and the role of divine intervention in our lives. It also highlights the potential limitations of our understanding of God and the nature of reality. The Epicurean Paradox encourages us to confront the difficult questions surrounding the existence of a higher power and to explore various perspectives on divinity, theodicy, and the human condition. While on the other hand, Leibniz, the renowned German philosopher and mathematician, offered a unique perspective on the nature of God and the problem of evil with his concept of the best of all possible worlds. Contrary to the Epicurean Paradox, Leibniz proposed that God created the world we inhabit and that it represents the optimal version among all possible alternatives. Leibniz's optimistic philosophy acknowledges the existence of evil and suffering, but posits that these elements serve a higher purpose that may be beyond human comprehension. According to his view, God, being omniscient and infinitely wise, selected this particular world for creation because it encompasses the best possible balance between good and evil. While we may struggle to understand the reasons behind certain instances of suffering, Leibniz believed that they ultimately contribute to the greater good and are integral to the intricate design of the universe. This perspective on the nature of God and the existence of evil is often referred to as Leibnizian optimism or theodicy. It suggests that God is good and has a plan for creation that transcends our limited understanding. Leibniz's philosophy has played a crucial role in the ongoing debate surrounding the problem of evil, providing a counterpoint to more pessimistic viewpoints like the Epicurean Paradox. By asserting that our world is the best of all possible worlds, Leibniz encourages us to consider the complexities of existence and the role of divine wisdom in shaping our reality. Additionally, free will is another concept that has been at the center of many discussions about the nature of God and the existence of suffering. According to this perspective, God granted humans the ability to make choices between good and evil, and as a result, the presence of suffering and wickedness in the world is a consequence of these choices. This view doesn't imply that God is evil, rather it highlights the importance that he places on our free will. By giving humans the capacity to make choices, God has endowed us with a sense of autonomy and responsibility for our actions. This freedom allows us to learn from our experiences, grow as individuals, and ultimately shape our own destinies. In this context, suffering can be seen as an opportunity for personal growth, as it often challenges us to confront difficult circumstances, adapt, and develop resilience. Supporters of this viewpoint argue that free will is a necessary aspect of human existence, as it enables us to form meaningful relationships, pursue our passions, and live authentic lives. Without the ability to make choices, our lives would be devoid of the personal agency that makes us unique individuals. However, critics of the free will defense argue that the existence of suffering, particularly in cases where it affects innocent people or is caused by natural disasters, cannot be easily reconciled with the idea of an all-powerful and all-good God. They contend that the sheer extent of suffering in the world is incompatible with the notion of a benevolent deity who values human freedom. The free will argument offers an intriguing perspective on the relationship between God, suffering, and human autonomy. It raises important questions about the nature of divine intervention, the role of personal responsibility in our lives, and the extent to which our choices shape the world around us. The debate surrounding free will and the existence of suffering continues to be a rich area of philosophical inquiry, inviting us to reflect on the complexities of the human experience and the mysteries of the divine. Belief in God or gods has been an integral aspect of numerous cultures across the globe throughout history, shaping societies and leaving a lasting impact on their way of life. From the Egyptian pantheon to the Greek gods and the Mayan deities, religion has played a massive role in these civilizations. It's visible in the construction of awe-inspiring temples and monuments dedicated to their gods, such as the Egyptian pyramids and the Parthenon in Greece. These architectural marvels not only served as sites for religious ceremonies, rituals, and community gatherings, but also reinforced the significance of religion in daily life. Religious beliefs often extended beyond the spiritual realm and permeated various aspects of these societies, including their laws, politics, and social norms. In many cases, gods were believed to have a direct hand in governing the people, legitimizing political power structures and providing a moral framework for the administration of justice. Historically, rulers often claimed divine right, asserting that their authority was granted directly by God. Even today, religion continues to shape political decisions and debates on issues like abortion, LGBTQ+ rights, and religious freedom. In some countries, religious beliefs have a direct impact on the legal system, with laws and regulations reflecting the values and teachings of the dominant faith. Additionally, religion has influenced social norms, shaping the way people interact with one another. Their understanding of gender roles and their attitudes toward marriage, clothing, and fashion, the celebration of rituals like Diwali in Hinduism and Easter in Christianity, is deeply ingrained in the cultural fabric of societies practicing these faiths. As people continue to practice and engage with their religious beliefs, these influences will remain an integral part of human societies and cultural identities. Morality is also another aspect where the belief in God plays a crucial role. Many people argue that religion provides a foundation for our sense of right and wrong, offering guidelines for living a good life, being kind to others, and making ethical choices. Religious teachings from various faiths emphasize values such as compassion, forgiveness, and honesty, which have become ingrained in many cultures. While some may argue that a strong moral compass can exist without belief in God, the undeniable truth is that religion has been a major force in shaping our collective understanding of morality. Conclusion. The role that faith plays in our own lives and communities is a deeply personal matter, and the answer will be different for everyone. For some, faith might be an integral part of daily life, shaping their relationships, values, and personal growth. For others, it might be a more private matter or even something they choose not to engage with at all. Whether it's gazing at the stars, watching a beautiful sunset, or experiencing a moment of awe, it's natural for us to ponder the big questions and wonder if there's something out there bigger than ourselves. What's important is to give ourselves the space to reflect on our beliefs and values, and consider how they might guide our actions and interactions with others. At the end of the day, opinions on God's existence and the role of religion in our lives will always differ. Some of us feel strongly that there's a higher power out there, while others are skeptical or hold different beliefs altogether. And you know what? That's totally cool. It's these diverse perspectives that make us human and keep the conversation alive. So what's your take on this? Do you think there is God or gods? And if you do you think they or he is evil? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll do our best to engage with everyone and keep the conversation going. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it insightful. If you did, please take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay in the loop with our newest content. We're grateful for your support, and thanks for watching.